Our adventure in Iceland started immediately after a high school reunion, a wedding, driving from Cluj to Budapest and minimal sleep, so the thing we wished for the most was arriving without any hiccups. But the fate had other plans for us. Our first day in Iceland didn't go smoothly. We started with a total of 2 hours of sleep, too near to edit. During the flight we slept a bit, but the announcements on the plane kept waking us up. The 4.5-hour flight somehow felt long, but went by quickly as well. The big luggage arrived on the carousel, but the backpack wasn't there. The monitors already said that all the luggages are there, when we noticed a separate location for strangely shaped luggages, and my 80-liter backpack was already there. Of course, we brought a lot of food, about 7-8 kilos per person, and in Iceland the limit is 3 kilograms. So, being law-abiding citizen, we went to the customs through the red gate and explained to the officer the situation. He asked what kind of food we have, and I replied that we have sweets and hiking food in general, to which he simply waved that we can go. Then, we went to rent our car. More precisely, we were taken by a bus, which was going continuously back and forth, but the line with the passengers was also full. So, I went into the car rental office and I found out that the deposit needed to be blocked on my credit card is not 1,200 euros, but 1,500 euros, and I didn't have that much. I left additional 1,000 lei there, but it wasn't enough to cover the 300 euro difference. So, I quickly liquidated a deposit from my phone, transferred the money, then it was alright. I was asked to sign the paper with the places the car is crashed at, but I refused and said that first I'd like to see the car. I went outside and we went around the car with Edit. We found some additional scratches. The guy didn't even care to come out, he just marked the new scratches on the paper as well. We got a Kia Picanto, which is quite small, with 2 big luggages and the back seats folded down. We barely fit inside. First, we went into a postal office to buy the camping card, which allows us to stay at 41 campsites almost for free. This was a good decision, because we bought it at a better price compared to the one on the internet. This way, it cost 140 euros for the 28-day card for 2 adults and 4 children. We are only 2 adults, but it is still worth it. From the internet, it would have been 160. At the airport, I took out 2,000 crowns from an ATM, for which I paid an additional 190 commission, and at the postal office we changed the 1,000 bill into coins to have them for showers, toilets and stuff like that. Then, very optimistically, we headed north, but I had to realize that after no sleep last night with 2 parties before that, I'm not exactly fresh. In the Icelandic weather, on the Icelandic roads, it's not quite relaxing to drive. Despite what others have told us, the traffic was quite big, at least close to Reykjavik. Sometimes it was raining, sometimes it wasn't, and the wind was blowing off this little car from the road. We stopped, readjusted our plans, and finally camped at a closer campsite where only 2 more persons were there. The rain was falling horizontally, and the weather is still the same. This was 15-20 hours ago, and the situation is unchanged. A trip of this kind is a good test for a relationship. If you don't fight in such a situation, it's a good sign. We didn't fight. After we pitched the tent, I started eating, and while I was sitting on my brand new sleeping mat, I noticed that it's leaking. It was almost the same situation as in Norway, where on the first night my mat started to leak. Here, there's no night, so we don't have that problem. Here, it's light outside all the time. Thanks to Edith's super skills, we managed to repair the mattress. She pushed it into the camping's sink to find a hole, so now it's good. Very strange that it's a small hole on the upper part. I have not used it before, so I don't think I made that hole. Especially as it's a super small hole, it doesn't look like I punctured it with something. It wasn't very cold, 11, 12, 13 degrees Celsius, but combined with the wind and the rain, and with the fact that in a hurry we pitched the tent the wrong way and the wind is blowing from this direction instead of coming from our feet, we weren't feeling hot either. And it felt perfectly in this minus 35-degree sleeping bag, and me in the small 0-degree one. Well, sometimes it felt good to pull it up all the way to my nose, but it was alright in a long sleeve shirt and long pants. We'll decide what to do next. While the weather is like this, we can't see anything. We somehow managed to gather the tent. The weather is already extremely good because it's not raining. It's just very cold. And we came to this waterfall called Barnafoss. The sky is completely covered by clouds and my glasses are still getting dark because of the UV radiations. Very surprising. We are at Kolugljúfur Canyon, one of the places that I have marked with a big star on the map. But I didn't remember what's here, but now I do, because it's very beautiful. I have to walk very carefully. Let's not drop the phone. We came up north, here the weather is better, it doesn't rain that much, the wind is similar, 13 degrees constantly. Behind me the car, next to it the tent, and there we have a nice little mountain, partially covered in fog. And inside that building that you saw is the kitchen and the bathroom, and we are preparing for dinner. Now the weather is good in Iceland. 20 degrees, and we came down to a beautiful beach with black sand. To this rock called Hvítserkur. Finally some variety. Tent and rain. We came up to Dalvik. Today the weather was beautiful, 19-20 degrees, up until when the rain arrived. We left the other campsite, where I successfully forgot my knife, shaker and plate. Because I washed them. Then I forgot them there. So we'll go back there and hopefully we'll still find them, because otherwise I'll be sad. Really, I will be sad. Today we visited Hvítserkur and we got down on a very steep trail and I fell. I got myself some huge wounds. It wasn't bleeding. Then we listened to the match on the radio, but we didn't have signal everywhere. We recorded the goal reaction at 2-1.
Și aici, în Islanda. Extraordinară fază pe care băieții noștri o reușesc în acest final de primă repriză.
But in the end, the Germans won again. An English footballer, Gary Lineker, said it already 30 years ago that football is a game played by 22 players where the Germans always win. A statement true to this day. Then we wanted to visit a place called Hraunarfossar, which is supposed to be some baths with warm water, but it's extremely hidden. So hidden that even using a combination of Waze, Google Maps and a hiking map, we were not able to find it. But we figured it out that we should have checked the reviews on Google Maps, where someone described which way are you supposed to go, which private fields you have to cross, which gate you have to choose, so it's very hidden. If we'll be in a mood for a bath, we'll go back. This is the first place with Wi-Fi access and the first place where the shower is for free. There are crowds everywhere. Further up to the north we cannot really go. Wherever I read up, everywhere it said that only the southern part is touristic, but for real. Unknown bird has just passed by in the meanwhile. Just a few meters from our tent, there's already a camper van. And in the same way it continues all around, and for this amount of people there's a single kitchen, so of course in the morning and in the evening it's completely full. Anyway, I think we'll go hiking and there will be no people there. I'm starting to develop nausea from people. And it says that I'm a homophobe, but that means something else, I believe, doesn't it? I'm scared? I'm not. I just had enough of them. This is how the kitchen looks like. It's past midnight according to the local time, so of course everybody is asleep. There's our rental car and our tent, and you can see what distance the cars are parked at from each other this way on the edge. So you can imagine that all these people have a single bathroom and a single kitchen. This view would be quite cool if it wasn't for that there, which is humming on our heads from the morning. For my birthday this year, I asked for this from Edith. This is a hammer, to hit in the tent pegs into the ground. And I said to myself, well, maybe it will be a little bit better and with this part I'll be able to pull out the pegs. But it's a huge difference. I couldn't believe how much this simple hammer can help. It weighs 318 grams. Without it, we push them in with our feet, or if you look at that yellow peg, you can imagine that you can push and pull a peg with another peg. So it's quite uncomfortable and the hammer makes it much easier. I really had to share this. It's a surprisingly useful little tool and I'm happy I managed to stick it into the luggage. I'm walking here in the completely cloudy weather and my glasses are darkened to the max. We are in the capital of the north, which I simply call Ayurveda because I'm unable to remember the Icelandic names. I'm curious what UV radiations we are exposed to. Are they stronger in the north? This is something I've seen only in Iceland, that we have to enter the freezer in order to buy meats. It's not warm in the main shop either, but here somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees. So here we enter with our jackets on. Yes, you have to go right to the target, but the Icelanders enter with shorts and short-sleeve shirts, no problem. We came out in the warmth. Behind me you can see those who are still inside the freezer. After shopping, we headed towards the pool in Hofsós, where another cultural shock was waiting for us. In Iceland, it's prohibited by law to enter a swimming pool before showering without a bathing suit. Yes, there are separate showers for women and men, and no, there are no separate shower cabins. From here, we went back to the campsite which we stayed at before to recover the things I forgot there, and on our way there we discovered a section of the newly inaugurated Arctic Coast Way. From here, a long and difficult drive followed, sometimes on unpaved roads to the West Fjords. In the next episode we'll continue from there with the puffin birds, the most beautiful waterfall and the northernmost glacier in Iceland, with freezing wind but also my favorite campsite.